vola anguela o veteranu hoi tabua agi do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM na bandu na seri
Bula alang gonoa ilutoka do talita na Bula FM berarti na bandu na seri
ni Bula binaka nan regen go sa Bula FM nga na kasi
nalang go sa mundu achiwe na Bula FM na bandu na seri nusuri
ni Bula binaka nalang go Jerry yang melambasa do barongo na Bula FM number 2.
Bula FM number 2 and seri.
And the news tonight, TC Tino to impact Vanuatu tonight. PM expresses worry over missing persons. And first ever disability evac center activated.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
The Fiji Meteorological Service says after tropical cyclone Tino, which is a Category 1 system, will make landfall, it will continue to move over Vanuatu. Director Misaele Funaki says it is forecast to move mostly towards Maduata and then towards the Lau Group before it leaves the Fiji waters. Funaki says the onset of heavy rain and strong winds before and after TC Tino makes landfall is a big concern. He adds that though it is known that a tropical cyclone system weakens after making landfall, this is not the case with TC Tino.
Well, normally in a theoretic context, they say that whenever a cyclone makes landfall, it normally weakens because there is no moisture to which the cyclone to feed off. But, Fiji or the island of Vanuatu is a very small landmass, and there is a lot of moisture around. So the tropical cyclone will continue to survive, and that's the reason why we're expecting it to move over Vanuatu and then moving on into the Lau Group.
Rain, 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 and more rain. TC Tino hit Vanuatu with heavy downpour and strong wind, crippling most services across the provinces today. Eleanor Turangaivu has more.
Tropical cyclone Tino, packed with average winds of up to 75 kilometers per hour, hit Vanuatu in the last hour, forcing the closure of schools, towns, businesses and the cancellation of public transportation. The worst hit places in Maduata, Namuka, Nandongo, Undu, Ndongotuki and Vikombia report the strong winds and heavy rain have felled trees, damaged crops and flooded most roads and crossings. Stuck indoors, villagers watched as the heavy downpour filled up waterways and compounds. Some 2,500 people live in these affected districts, where an odd 49 evacuation centers have been identified and activated. Across Lambasa, heavy rain has flooded drains and roads, with many families securing their homes early in the day to minimize damage to their properties. The current weather situation failed to deter a number of people from enjoying the rain, ignoring advice and warnings from authorities. In town, businesses were closed by 3 p.m. as they were forced to send their workers home after bus services ceased at around midday. By 4 p.m., the whole town was closed, with police checkpoints at both ends of the town, turning away vehicles and the public from entering the town premises. Just outside of Lambasa town, several roads leading to Wainikoro were flooded, these along the Vunika stretch.
When it rains heavily, it always gets flooded over here, just because of all this, the garbage in the drains been brought up from the other side of this residential area. So it just comes in the drain and gets blocked. That's why the water is just gets flooded over here.
So the water overflows into the compound?
It does come in the compound, and also the other houses you can see at the back is all flooded.
In the meantime, authorities are monitoring the water levels at the Lambasa and Gawa River, with high tide expected at midnight. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Eleanor joins us live now from Lambasa. Eleanor, with Tino heading your way, what's the latest?
Amrita, you've heard about the weather situation in Maduata. For the Kaunrove, there is also heavy rain and winds. The wind has also picked up speed in the Kaunrove province, and there's been reports of flooding from Taviuni as well as in parts of the Kaunrove from early this afternoon. Savu town is also closed, with police monitoring from both ends of the town, minimizing or not allowing the public as well as cars to go into town, as there has also been a power shutdown in the town. There are now 12 evacuation centers for the province of Nakhon. There are some evacuees inside, those who have moved away from their homes as they feel they are at risk of due to the heavy downpour. For the whole of the Northern Division, there are 9 roads closed at the moment. These are at the Wainekoro, the Nangingi Flat. While the floodwaters have receded, there is still the fear of floodwaters rising again as the high tide is expected at around midnight tonight. At Wunivutu, Wabu and Walana Flats, the roads are completely submerged, so it's close to the public as well, to the traffic. At Navakuru, the crossing is underwater, and Namwewe as well. At Ngelimumu, the bridge as well is underwater, as well as the Nayarambale crossing. So all these places are still closed to traffic. So there is advice to all motorists who are planning to venture out into this weather, please drive safely and just refrain altogether from going onto the roads as the rain and winds is yet to pass us. Amrita.
Well, thank you, Eleanor. As you can see, there was a lot to cover. We wish everyone a safe time during this cyclone season. Undu Point residents have started to feel strong winds and heavy rains now from this afternoon as tropical cyclone Tino moves towards Vanuatu, with Fiji Meteorological Office predicting TC Tino to make landfall around Undu Point this evening. Preparations are complete, say the villagers. They say with warnings coming their way from yesterday, they managed to secure property and have also moved to safe grounds. People say they are expecting the worst with high tide later tonight. Strong wind and heavy rain are currently being felt by those living in Taveuni and Savu-Savu. Taveuni and certain parts of the Nakhon are at most risk as they lie within the projected path of TC Tino. Koritandulala reports.
Heavy swells, rain and strong winds has forced many in Savu-Savu to retreat into the safety of their homes.
It's already made landfall. Definitely now getting some very good winds out of the southeast and easterly southeast and good gusts coming. Not a lot of rain, but enough rain. It's definitely picked up now and really quite windy.
In Taveuni, rain hasn't stopped since 7 a.m. and they're amongst the few areas expected to suffer the direct impact of the cyclone.
Wind has definitely picked up speed in the past hour and is getting a little stronger compared to midday. It has been raining continuously throughout the entire day and it's getting heavy right now. Trees are swaying and we are praying that it doesn't cause major damage to our houses and farms.
Minister of National Disaster Management, Chone Usamate, has reiterated the need to follow advisories to avoid the needless loss of lives.
If we're asked not to do something, please abide by it to make everybody's job much better and to make sure that we can save lives, keep lives safe.
The National Disaster Management Office and other relevant bodies is urging Fijians to heed advisories to help save lives. Koritandulala, FBC News.
Prime Minister Varenga Bainimarama today raised concerns with the National Disaster Management Office after flash flooding in Navua led to the loss of 2 lives. Briefed on the preparation and extent of tropical cyclone Tino, the Prime Minister noted that Fijians need to be prepared for more severe weather and ensure they are following the public advisories. Maggie Boyle reports.
All hands on deck, the Prime Minister had been briefed on the ongoing emergency operations. Notably concerned, the Prime Minister urging Fijians to ensure they're prepared.
I was just worried about the 2 that are missing from the father and daughter that are missing in Navu. And of course, the people in the two evacuation centers. That's just, we're going to experience a lot of rain, a lot of flooding in low-lying waters, and of low-lying areas, and of course, maybe strong winds in the Lao group later on.
Director for the National Disaster Management Office, Vasiti Soko, explaining the difficulty with their recovery efforts.
As we speak right now, the Fiji Police Force are waiting for the water to recede before they actually move in to help search for the 2 that were swept away.
Meanwhile, the Defence Minister Inies Serratu reiterating the message for the general public to heed the NDMO advice.
Let's avoid crossing rivers and streams because of rising water level. Let's not take the warnings lightly. We have to treat it seriously. It's unfortunate that we are still losing lives. Let's respect the advices that are given, and let's make the right decisions.
Tino is a Category 1 system with the potential to reach a Category 2 and is forecast to affect Vanuatu, Lao and the Lomaiviti group. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Well, we now join our reporter Ali Kimbia, who is at the National Disaster Management Office in Samambula, Suva. Aliki, what's the latest?
Amrita, here at the NDMO Operations Center, emergency officials are still trying to gather reports from the ground, and in the next hour or so, we'll be able to get situation reports from areas that are on the projected path of Tino. But with me is the director of NDMO, Vasiti Soko, who will tell us more on the current situation report and the active evacuation centers that are active throughout all the divisions in the country.
As of this evening, Tropical Cyclone Tino is still a Cat 1 system and is moving southeastward at 27 kilometers per hour and is expected to make a landfall at Undu Point in the next 3 hours before it moves towards the southern Lao group. In regards to the evacuation center, we have 5 evacuation centers in total now, 2 that was opened from yesterday in the Central Division, 3 have now been activated in the Northern Division, bringing the total number of evacuees to 119. Just urging the members of the public, the request from the Commissioner Northern, we ask that the members of the public in the Northern Division refrain from crossing flooded river, refrain from making an attempt to loiter around places that you are experiencing strong wind. Flying debris can cause injury, and we ask that members of the public keep their safety is our paramount, and that's what we have.
So, as I've mentioned earlier, here at the NDMO Operations Center, emergency officials are still trying to get a situation report from the ground, and in the next hour or so, we'll be able to get a new situation report from areas that are on the projected path of Tino. Amrita.
Thanks, Aliki. Well, as Tropical Cyclone Tino continues to impact parts of the country, the Fiji Disabled People's Federation is using its Suva office as the Evacuation Operations Center to monitor the movements and safety of its members. They're working with the National Disaster Management Office and volunteers on the ground. Apenisa Wairadovu reports the Disabled People's Operations Center is the first in the country, and some of the disabled are already in NDMO evacuation centers as they are now open.
The Fiji Disabled People's Federation Operations Center follows the NDMO as their lead, and the aim is to better inform members.
While there's news medias and outlets that continuously broadcast or what's happening within the weather patterns, we communicate with our members to try and encourage them. That's what we're trying, the best that we can to try and support the external mechanisms that's out there.
Since it was activated, the center has been mainly managed by volunteers who assist members calling in for assistance.
Here is an opportunity where we can work hand in hand with the powers that be, so that we're making sure that as a way forward, we can at least begin to improve. And one way that we can improve is for us to actually guide our members through the process and what's happening.
The Fiji Disabled People's Federation is also operating to ensure its members are not discriminated against while at evacuation centers.
We are just confirming that our members are also using it. So all of them, the members are calling in to the line that we have here at the operations center at the complex.
The center will be providing recommendation to responsible authorities after the passing of Tino to inform them of any ways that can improve the safety of the disabled in any future disaster. Apenisa Wangarandobu, FBC News.
Up ahead, dengue threat in the north as 10 cases emerge. And more manpower for Fiji Police Force, details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits. Bola, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Republic of Fiji military forces have deployed their personnel across the country to assist police with security, search and rescue efforts during tropical cyclone Tino. RFMF's Chief of Staff, Land Force Major Jerry Wanganisao says in the north they have close to 100 personnel on standby to assist when needed. Maggie Boyle reports.
One of the key aspects of the RFMF's assistance during natural disaster is ensuring communication is up and running.
Provide a backup system for the communications equipment where we have our VHF radio set up and also our HF sets that can also send electronic data type messages in the absence of the normal conventional communications that we have.
With TC Tino earmarked to make landfall in Vanuatu, additional Army personnel are already on standby.
Right now, standby in Lambasa is about 60. On right now, they're about on 5 minutes notice to move. That can be increased as well.
With some of the RFMF personnel expected to be deployed to Australia tomorrow to assist with their firefight, the Defence Minister says TC Tino's arrival was factored in.
We owe the Australians this deployment based on the Vuvala partnership and the previous disasters that we've gone through, where we had a lot of assistance from the Australian government.
Currently, there are Army personnel embedded with all emergency operations centres across the country. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Various government ministries are following their hurricane contingency plans and bracing for the worst. All shipping services have been put on hold and all emergency response teams are on standby to step in when needed.
Being proactive and already ensuring the safety of the public, Tony Usamate has halted all shipping services.
Yes, except for I think there's one ship that had to come from Burasal to Natovi, ship bearing there, and all the others I think have been stopped, just with the exception of the Mamanudas, the ships that there's some of the larger ships there are still being allowed to transfer the tourists that need to move. Other than that, we want to make sure that we maintain safety.
Usamate says this is done because of the adverse weather conditions and safety of people is paramount, with various public utilities being the center of discussions. EFL says they've also mapped out a plan in terms of providing electricity supply.
So more rain will come, then obviously you expect, the poles and all, might slip away and fall down. So we expect some damages and we are prepared for it. Unfortunately, we have not been able to send. Yesterday we tried to send more teams across to Lambasa in preparation, but we were told that the ships were not operating. So anyway, we'll wait for the cyclone to pass through and then we'll take it from there.
After the briefing with Prime Minister Borenge Bainimarama, all government ministries and government departments have contingency plans ready and they will activate it when the need arises. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Oinafa jetty in Rotuma is closed after sustaining extensive damage in the wake of tropical cyclone Tino. The Fiji Roads Authority teams will begin its damage assessment around the country once the weather clears. Kelly Vidala reports the FRA is also monitoring the damage along the Queen's Highway in Viti Levu.
Tropical cyclone Tino has left a trail of destruction on the island of Rotuma. The FRA says the damage is serious.
Oinafa jetty has been damaged. We have to do some repair work on that. It's hard for ships to tie up, so we've closed the jetty.
The tropical cyclone warning in force for Rotuma was cancelled late this afternoon. Rotuma District Officer Tika Tokabe says the wharf sustained damage overnight as the island experienced strong wind, heavy swells and continuous rain.
The structure at the wharf is down one side. One of the structures is completely on its floor. And the wharf, all the boulders on the side is on top of the wharf. So the wharf, I think, we haven't done any initial assessment. It's now high tide, we cannot access to the wharf.
The FRA says the Queen's Highway is also on their priority list.
Queen's Road was major flooding last night. between about 8 o'clock and midnight. That was cleared away. About 4 or 5 landslides on Queen's Road. We managed to get through those by about 4 o'clock this morning.
Minister for Infrastructure, Chonu Samate, says with more rain expected, the area from Namosi to Serua is a major concern.
That particular area, the ground is saturated with water. There's so much water in there. That is also an area where the forecast is showing that there's likely to be heavy rainfall.
The FRA is urging Fijians to adhere to advisories and avoid driving or crossing flooded roads, as this will put their lives at risk. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
With heavy rain forecast for the Northern Division due to tropical cyclone Tino, the Health Ministry says this may increase the threat of dengue fever. Minister Dr. Efremi Wainambete told FBC News 10 dengue cases were recorded following TC Sarai last month. Ali Kimbia with more details.
Dr. Efremi Wangainambete has confirmed that there were 10 dengue fever cases recorded in Lambasa last month, and this is due to the heavy rainfall during tropical cyclone Sarai.
December to January, there was about 10 cases of dengue in the greater Lambasa area. So that's something that is a slight concern. Our people have been on the ground over the last few weeks, working hand in hand with the community.
With TC Tino set to make landfall this evening, Dr. Wangainambete says there is a high risk of more dengue cases, but health officials are on the ground creating more awareness.
You know, it gives us a little bit of vulnerability around, the Lambasa area heading into the cyclone. So, our teams are actually having a strategic think about what the approach is going to be, the preparations, and also what's the approach going to be afterwards.
Dr. Wangainambete says this is a concern, but they will continue discussions with the officials on the ground. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
214 new police recruits have been told not to allow themselves to be corrupted in the conduct of their duties. Attorney General Ayaset Kayum was chief guest at the Pass-Out parade this morning and commended the work of the Fiji police force. Edwin Nunn reports.
These men and women joined the Fiji police force knowing they're earning a decent living compared to others who started off with incomes of about $6,000.
Those salaries today now stand between $16,000 to $18,000 a year for those police officers entering the police force on a full-time basis.
The force is also undergoing a multi-million-dollar restructure to ensure it meets the needs of a modern Fiji.
These reforms are the latest milestone in an over decade-long campaign to improve the effectiveness of the Fijian police force and ensure you, the Fijians serving the line of duty, are properly compensated.
Meanwhile, Ulamila Karasitiano won the Baton of Honor for being the most outstanding recruit, an achievement she has dedicated to all female police officers.
At the beginning of the course, I had set a goal to try and achieve this special award. I was challenged by one of the female NCOs at the academy if I could, on behalf of all the female constables, to try and achieve this award, because most of the time it's only the males.
The Pass-Out parade included officers from the region and special constables who've been absorbed into the force. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
And now it's business time with Koroi.
Thanks, Amrita. Coming up after the break. Employers urged to make use of FRCS online portal. And in growing Fiji, Year of the Red Stamp launched. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number one.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग कल मिर्ची FM सुनता. गौल टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM. It's hot.
The Fiji Revenue and Customs Service last night held a forum with over 50 employees from the Central Division to address issues regarding the online taxpayer system. Chief Executive Viswanath Das says more awareness needs to be created on the online portal so that the taxpayer approach can be changed from physical to digital service mode. Das is urging businesses to fully utilize the new system, which was rolled out last month for registration, filing tax and possibly make online payments.
So we don't come back to ask you the same documents again and again. And there is, date and time stamp on your lodgements and everything, so there's always evidence that you have. Sometimes, you brought paper, we stamped it, you lost the paper, I lost the paper, there's a penalty, you want a waiver, so bring the evidence, and this is like a waste of resources, waste of time. Might as well that time be better utilized in your business for productivity and in my business for productivity as well.
Sunifa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the stock market.
Looking at the latest in the currency market, the US dollar and the Chinese yuan remain steady a day after China and the US signed a Phase 1 trade deal. The deal is aimed at easing tension between the two largest economies in the world. On the economic data front, US retail sales rose for a third straight month in December, gaining 0.3%. This could strengthen the view that the economy maintained a moderate growth pace at the end of 2019. Growth estimates for the fourth quarter are as high as a 2.5% rate, in part because of a drop in imports which compressed the trade deficit. Meanwhile, China's economic growth slowed to its weakest in nearly 30 years in 2019, growing only 6.1%. The growth rate is lower than the market expectations of 6.2%, but within the 6 to 6.5% the central government set in early 2019. That's all from HFC Bank for this week. Pinaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. It was an up and down day for the dollar following the signing of the US-China Phase 1 agreement. The Sanghamoli rose against the US greenback, the Aussie dollar, the Kina and the yen, but dipped against the Chinese yuan, euro and kiwi. Commodity prices were mixed. Crude oil prices rose at over $58 per barrel. Gold dropped to $1,553 per ounce, and silver closed up at $17.99 per ounce. In growing Fiji, Year of the Red Stamps were today launched by the Assistant Education and Arts Minister Joseph Nund. This is the Year of the Red in the Chinese culture, which symbolizes wealth and surplus, clever thinking and success in the Chinese culture. The new stamp also includes a local fruit, which symbolizes the close bond between Fiji and China. The Chinese New Year falls on the 25th of this month.
The red is depicted with a cute face and a playful posture combined with the representation of local fruits like pineapples, mangoes, coconuts and even sugarcane that symbolizes a very happy and a wealthy New Year for Fiji also.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Koroy, and good evening. Ahead in sports, strong team named for Hamilton Sevens, and Suva Football to invest in younger players. Details after the break.
Veteranu, ako Tabua, ako do talitay na barong na Bula FM, nambando na sir.
Bula, ang gono ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti nambando na sir.
Ni Bula binaka, nanregen go sa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nadang go sa mundo atibyo ng Bula FM nambando na sir nusur.
Ni Bula binaka, nadang go Jerry yang melambasa. Do barong ng Bula FM.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
The Fiji Airways Fiji Sevens side for the Hamilton and Sydney Sevens have been named. Asaeli, the tank Tuivuaka, returns to the side along with Liva Ika Nikonda. Apinisa the Kaumbalabu, who didn't have much game time in Dubai and Cape Town, is in the final 12, replacing Paula Nranisinukula. Jerry Tuwai and Melin Dernalangi will share the leadership role in the absence of Nranisinukula. Kabikini Tambu retains his spot along with Sebuloni Modenedangi, Joshua Bakuru Nambili, Amniasi Tui Mamba, Wilimoni Mbotitu and Alasio Nanduba. Isoa Tambu, Terrio Tamani and Terrio Tamani have not been considered for the next two tournaments. Head coach Gareth Baber says the management has implemented immediate fines and punishment after training to address discipline issues.
Obviously, you try and put as much scrutiny on as you can and make sure that they understand what they've got to do and how hard they've got to work on the field, and that's what we're going through at the moment. Obviously, discipline being a big element of it as well, and it's changing habits, behaviours which have existed for a long period of time. We keep on at that constantly in the sessions with the likes of immediate fines and punishments after training, so to keep them where they need to be.
All Black Sevens playmaker Willie Monikoroi returns to the World Sevens Series and will be playing in Hamilton next week. The Suva Football Association says they will invest in younger players this season, especially from Lame and Nasinu. With 2 weeks left before the player transfer window closes, Suva FA President Ritesh Pratap claims that some of the star players they have brought in over the years have failed to deliver.
What we have decided in our executive meeting is this year we will not go for high-profile players, because we have seen from the last year we've been spending a lot on high-profile players and we are not getting the result what we want. So what we have decided that we'll spend on our young boys from Nasinu and Lami, and mostly we'll get some of the players from there and to strengthen the team.
With 8 weeks remaining until the Iran Massey Cup, the Kaiviti Silktails are progressing well with their preparations. High-performance trainer Tom Watkins says the team will undergo game trials in the coming weeks. Despite the break over the festive season, Watkins says the side has come together better than expected.
The boys are really adapting to the training, so hopefully we can just pull it all together come game time. We've still got 8 weeks until the comp starts, which is a lot of time to get these boys ready, and we start playing trial games in a few weeks, which will be a fantastic sort of marker and indicator of where we're at.
7 national swimmers are currently in Wellington, New Zealand to compete in the Long Course Championship this weekend. Fiji swimming coach Sharon Smith says the competition will allow swimmers like Matelita Roma and Herbert Rambua to improve their timings and build on their performance as they head for the Olympic qualifier in March. Other swimmers who will feature in the championship include Sebuloni Ioana, Owen Art, Sala Kunatumba, Jerry Faktafan and Shea Taito. The 4-day competition begins tomorrow and ends Tuesday. Now, play of the day, the Vietnam goalkeeper making a mess of a long-range free kick to hand North Korea an equalizer in their final AFC Under-23 Championship Group D game yesterday. The moment proved critical since Vietnam needed a victory to have any chance of progressing. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. Take a look at how pro gamers are turning their bodies pro athletes. Details right after the break.
रहता है। हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है लेबू और रेडियो फीजी में हरदम सुनता है। बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोज सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगवा लेबू लटो का रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नाकाफी में रहता है, रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2, देश की धड़कन।
In new media, pro gaming is going to another level. And here's Angie with weather. Hello and welcome to the Weather World. While it's hard to determine exact locations of TC Tino, it is along the Undu Point Taviuni area right now and is expected to progress southeastward toward Tonga tomorrow. We'll look a little closer in a moment. Now to the west, more rain is expected. There is high chance of landslips, so take heed of that. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, after cloudy skies, heavy showers took the stand. Thunderstorms also in the bag for the night. And up north with TC Tino forecast across the eastern tip of Vanuatu headed toward Taviuni,
current conditions are somewhat severe with gale force winds and very heavy rainfall expected. Stay tuned to one of the FPC radio stations for updates on the cyclone as it passes. Now at sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, very rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 1:20 a.m. with low tide at 7:34 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:43. For tomorrow, I know it's a Saturday, but unfortunately it will be an indoor one as there is rain in the prediction. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be cool in the low 20s. And looking ahead to Sunday, showers will continue. That's all the weather news on TC Tino from my end. Be sure to stay safe. It's back to you, Amrita.
Thanks, Angie. There goes weekend washing. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, what do you think of Fiji's chances at the Hamilton Sevens tournament?
Yes, they can win because they are the strong team.
Yes, Fiji will the Hamilton Sevens.
Oh yes, they are the champion, world champion, series champion. They can make this Hamilton.
Yes, Fiji will win Hamilton 7 this year.
Yes, Fiji will definitely win Hamilton this year.
In the world, the weird and the wonderful, are you a gym junkie? How about the clothes you wear at the gym? How do you sort those out? Recapping the main stories, TC Tino to impact Vanuatu tonight. PM expresses worry over missing persons. And first ever Disability Evac Centre activated. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question segment, this week we're asking, has it become more affordable to send children to school? To visit our FPC website to answer. Our shot of the day, this was the situation in Buda Bay as Vanuatu prepared for the arrival of TC Tino, the picture taken by Micah Nasalato. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fpcnews@fpc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FPC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FPC News or hashtag FPC News. That was your FPC News for tonight. Stay safe. Mademanda.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulalo. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. गौल टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.